last couple of years, this meet has been dominated by Indiana. They've won 3 out of the last 4 championships and a chance to have a three-peat this season.
Yeah, well, the Michigan and Ohio State women are the only teams in the history of the Big Ten Conference who have been able to pull off a three-peat, and Indiana head coach Ray Lewis told me that on paper he believes that his team is an underdog this year. Now, he also said the same thing to me last year, so perhaps in true swimming form, Coach Lewis is a little superstitious. Now, the Indiana women also gave me a tour of their locker room. They have a big sign over the door that reads, "Swim like a champion today," and in order to do that, they're going to have to fight pretty hard because the Big Ten is such a competitive conference with 6 teams nationally ranked in the top 25 of the coaches poll entering this meet.
Well, the question is, if they're going to have their streak end today, who's going to end that streak?
Well, first, you got to look at Minnesota. They're strong across the board in every event, in every stroke. They returned all 9 swimmers from their 2010 NCAA squad, and that type of leadership and experience is really important here at the conference level. And speaking of experience, Michigan is led by Jim Richardson, who is now in his 26th year with the program. And Coach Richardson told me that this is the most functional team yet. Now, they're also the youngest team in the conference, so it'll be exciting to see how Michigan responds. And Bernie, when you and I swam collegiately, it was often a battle between a team with elite swimmers and a team with depth, and now you need both to win a Big Ten. Sports fans have heard the saying that defense wins championships. Here in the swimming world, sprinting wins championships. This is anyone's race, a great one to kick off our broadcast. So important in these relays to keep your emotions in check. They're supposed to be fun, but you also have a very business-like mentality in the fact that you need to get the job done in warm-ups and then in warm-downs after your individual swim. So in the moment, you can put everything on the line and just race. Key component to becoming a champion butterflyer is getting your body into a plank-like position, which ultimately allows the tightest possible line of motion. All of these women in the pool right now are pros at that. This really is a Gophers' marquee event with All-Americans Tyler and Haley Spencer leading the way. Tyler's school record time of 58:22 from the Minnesota Grand Prix in November is the fastest in the nation. She clocked 58:30 this morning. Wouldn't be surprised if she goes under 58 or pretty darn close. Yeah, great thing about our sport is that no one can get in your lane. No one's going to stop you. Jillian knows this is her final 100 breaststroke at Big Ten. She's posted some Nintendo numbers throughout the years, and this is her chance for a big exclamation mark. This is what pure confidence looks like. Confidence in knowing that you trained so hard, no one can touch you out. Wisconsin head coach Eric Hansen, I talked to him before today's meet, and he said, hey, you know that swimming is a lifestyle, and it really is. These women commit so much, and they're not just athletes, they're student athletes. So everyone on this deck has been able to juggle athletics and academics.
We're swimming only a 50. This is a sprint.
Yeah, safe starts are the name of the game, and a sprint like this can't afford to get disqualified and miss out on the points. 200 free really is the foundation of any championship program. 5 years ago, Bernie, the Hoosiers had only 1 swimmer in this final, a great indication of where this program is headed. Competitors in the next lane over, and that's really what collegiate athletic is all about. You know, there's no negative recruiting in the Big Ten. Nothing cutthroat, just pure class, fast swimming, stellar grades, and ear-to-ear smiles. Indiana and the entire Big Ten Conference really embraces Olympic sports. You told me when you go to the supermarket, folks even ask you how your team is doing. How do you answer that question now, Coach?
Oh, we're doing great. This feels good, and we're going to enjoy it. But it's back into the fire next week with the men. But we had a lot of the local population in the stands here, and it's just good to see their support, and hopefully that'll generate some excitement for better things in the future for us.
Good luck at NCAAs. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you very much.
From the first lap to the final dive, this meet did not disappoint. It was basically a friendly game of anything you can do, I can do better between San Diego State and Boise State.
And when you've got a meet this close, how tense was it?
Oh, it was very tense. But that's, as an athlete, that's what you live for. And, you know, it may be a bigger stage with brighter lights. And it was so interesting, Bill, being there with my photographer, Adrian Cruz. We were watching the swimmers and the chemistry. You had Boise State on one side of the pool, San Diego State on the other. They knew that it was going to come down to this final relay, but getting the points and having Kristen Meyer, a veteran and such a classy and polished young lady, was really fun to watch her come away with the title.
And Adrian Cruz getting a shout out. Good for you. Well played. Now here's Meyer on yet another Mountain West Conference title. How remarkable has the job been by Kristen Hill. She built this program 6 years ago to where they are right now.
Well, this is their third consecutive conference title. They've only been around 6 years. So to consider what she's been able to do with the perhaps facilities that she's had available, they're blue-collar student athletes, and that's what they pride themselves on.